gun meme. Wait, what? We're not doing that this week? Okay, well that probably means we got a good reason for it. So we're probably working on something fairly interesting that may be coming out a week late. Or maybe we're just lazy. You don't know. So in the meantime, I figured I would do a video about my carry gun. Now this right here is a Glock 19. This is probably one of the most suggested carry pieces in the entire United States, at least. This is an Austrian designed 9mm striker fired, capacity of 15+1. So it's actually, got a decent capacity. 9mm, a more than capable round, and I all around love this gun. But it's not my carry gun. This weathered Soviet beauty is my carry gun. This right here is a Bulgarian-made 9x18mm Makarov with a capacity of 8+1 single stack. And I love this pistol. And this is actually the only carry gun that I will live and die by. And I will kind of get into that. I know it's weird, and I know it's not probably the most practical thing in the world, but hear me out because frankly, there's nothing you can do to change my mind. I love this gun, and yeah, the comments can be as mean as they want. I love Makarovs. Sue me. So as a little bit of background here, I have been infatuated with Makarov since I was a teenager, and I saw it in an episode of Burn Notice. I'm not kidding. It was featured in an episode of Burn Notice, and I never forgot that. Don't know why, weird fixation, but I just think they're sexy as hell. This was before I realized that they were beat up surplus guns that you could get for like $200 at the time. So, it's nice when you have beer taste and a champagne budget. Even though I have a beer taste and a beer budget. Before I talk about why this is my everyday carry choice, let me just break down a little bit about the gun. First of all, I'm going to go ahead and clear it, so I'm not waving it around. Typical hollow points there, but gun is clear for all the internet commandos there. So we are good to go, good to talk about this gun. So the first thing about it, it's got an external safety here that is also a decocker. So that's kind of nifty. That's one of the reasons I like it. The breakdown is super simple. All you have to do is pull down on the trigger guard here, pull it back, lifts off the front, and there you go. You have completely disassembled this gun. If you really want to get crazy with it, pull up on the selector, the safety, pull it out, and the firing pin drops out the back, and you have completely disassembled this gun. Okay, maybe not disassembled, but at least fully field stripped. Past what 90% of Makarov users would ever do. The reassembly is just as easy. You just take this here, you put the spring over the barrel, put the slide on, pull it back, slide it forward, let the trigger guard go, and you have your gun back together. So this is by far probably one of the easiest field strippable pistols I have ever seen in my life. It is super simple, super reliable, super rugged, and very cheap. It's can you tell I'm a fanboy? I really do like these things. I unironically like this gun. A lot of people like it just because, it's kind of different or nifty, or they saw it from that Escape from Tarkov game I still haven't played. But, oh, that's gonna set the comments on fire. Yeah, this really is a nifty little pistol. I do really like it a lot. For one, the ammo's cheap. So even though this is kind of like a ballsy 380, slightly smaller than your typical 9mm Parabellum or Luger or whatever, it is very inexpensive. You still get a lot of cheap Tula and everything like that. So, I mean, shooting this thing just as a plinker, it's super enjoyable to shoot. It's super cheap to shoot. And you can still get just a decent, I wouldn't say a great variety, but a decent variety of specialty ammo like hollow points and all sorts of stuff like that. That was unplanned. I guess that was just more of me speaking with my hands. In case you guys haven't noticed, the internet in the comment section is very quick to point out I'm like an Italian with my hands when I speak. I just kind of gesture all over the place. So to my speech and debate teacher, Miss Jones, who taught me to gesture while I speak, you started this mess. This is your monster. But enough of that. Now it's time to talk about why I carry this, unironically. Excuse me one second. Sorry, I haven't eaten today. Anyway, even though it's a single stack, it's pretty low profile. I mean, this is a very, For a surplus gun, pretty low profile, doesn't really print too bad, but it is heavy. This is a solid steel gun, basically, which is great. It's why it's so durable, it's why it's so reliable, but it's also, I mean, for something that's basically a steroided up 380, this is basic, yeah, it's heavy. It's a heavy gun. What more do you want? It's not going to be plastic like this, where it's actually efficient, where all the parts that need to be steel are steel, and all the parts that don't need to be are polymer. No. Bulgaria ain't having that shit. Everything's steel. But between weight and magazine capacity, which is frankly not great, 8+1, it's not excellent, but it's not terrible. Basically, you got a 1911 ammo capacity, but you don't have the 45 behind it. Nice and low profile though, and I mean smooth shooting, and it less recoil than a 45. So I mean it makes up for it a little bit, but yeah, okay. So those are my two main gripes about the gun: weight, ammo capacity. Now let's move on to why I love it so much. First off, this little sucker is accurate as hell. This is far more accurate of a pistol than I could ever dream to operate and have any sort of, like, the tool will outperform me every time. But this right here, one of the reasons it is so accurate is because instead of a floating barrel like a lot of handguns have, this actually has a pressed and pin barrel. So this right here is a fixed barrel. This is not going anywhere. You can replace it. There's tools to replace it, but this is a very sturdy barrel. And it's, you know, one of the reasons why this gun can get so accurate is because the barrel doesn't move. But accuracy isn't really a great reason to like a carry gun, considering, you know, most engagements happen, what is that, FBI stats, under 7 yards. So at most, you're going to be shooting 20 yards with this thing. Accuracy is not super important. And yeah, if you're making pop shots past 20 yards with a concealed carry handgun, you need to retake that class. One of the things I do love about it, one of the reasons why I feel very comfortable carrying this gun, is because it is the most reliable handgun I've ever owned. Every handgun I've ever had, and it doesn't mean they're bad handguns, by the way. I love a lot of guns out there, but every handgun I've ever owned has had some sort of malfunction. Glocks have had malfunctions, Canics, you know, have had malfunctions. The, you know, SIGs have had malfunctions, Smith & Wessons malfunctions. Just about any kind of handgun out there that I've ever put more than, let's say, 200 rounds through, it had some sort of malfunction that I can remember. This never has. And this thing right here, it's so purely mechanical. It's just analog. There's not any really crazy engineering to it. It's, you fire the round with a big ass exposed hammer, strikes the back of the round, pulls it back, spring pushes it forward onto a fixed barrel. There's not a lot that can go wrong. And out of the God, I probably had this thing for a better part of half a decade. Probably put a couple thousand rounds through this thing. Never had a single malfunction. It's eaten all the cheap corroded ammo that I've, you know, ever put through this thing. I put weird, like, found it in the basement shit through it. It eats everything. This is a phenomenal piece for reliability. Now, one of the biggest reasons why I carry the Makarov instead of anything else I own is this next one. It's the exposed safety right here that also acts as a manual firing pin blocker. You could have a round in the chamber and beat on that hammer all day long, and you are never going to be able to fire this thing. You can't pull back the hammer with the safety engaged. You can't pull the slide back, the safety engaged, and you cannot set off the round that is in the chamber with the safety on, because it actually blocks the firing pin. Now, the reason that's important for me is because I carry appendix. Gonna give you about 3 seconds to figure that one out. As much as I feel like it's important to have a carry gun on you in most situations, it's also not really worth it on the chance that I have to protect my life or somebody else's if I know there's a better chance I'm going to lose my right testicle due to blunt force trauma of a 9x18 millimeter bullet. So, the firing pin blocker is a big plus in my book. I know it's stupid and I know it's a mental thing, but like a Glock with a round in the chamber, because I do carry with a round in the chamber, and I'll carry other guns, but the only thing that puts this leagues above the rest in my personal screwed up head, and I know it's stupid, is because there's something that manual that's blocking that, knowing that I'm not going to send a round tearing through my nutsack. Something about the way my mind knows a striker-fired pistol works, it screws with me, because I know these things are perfectly safe, but to have a round in the chamber with a spring-loaded firing pin aimed right at righty, that's a problem. I really don't enjoy that mental image while I'm sitting down having Panera bread at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Like, you know, I could lose my, yeah, at any time. Which I guess you kind of already at risk of that if you're eating Panera bread, but whatever. So simplicity, rugged reliability, accuracy, concealability, cost-effective ammo, and a very low chance I'm going to become a eunuch. This right here is my favorite carry gun, and that is why, laugh at me all you want, I unironically carry this thing. And I just want to give a quick shout out. This is the holster that Diego from The Rock made for me that I've been carrying with. Been looking at getting something a little bit more high. I want to take this, like, this has almost become a meme at this point, so like trying to take it to the next level. I'm thinking of getting like a nice sidecar holster or something with it, with like an extra mag or two on the side as an appendix rig, just for the hell of it, just because I think it would be funny. But yeah, I think it's funny because people are like, oh, what do you carry? I'm like, oh, Makarov. And they're like, oh, okay, so what do you carry? I'm like, a Makarov. Now, FYI, this is not me trying to get you to carry a Makarov. This is not me saying a Makarov is even a good carry weapon in 2019. I'm not saying any of those things. I'm saying I love it, and I like it. I think it's got, DeLance said it's got kind of a Millennium Falcon appeal. You know, it's not the newest, flashiest thing out there. It's kind of a little old. It may be a little outdated. But you know what? It's mine, and I like it a lot. And I don't know. It just kind of fits me. Anyway, guys, I hope you liked the video. I know this was kind of a little different, but I get a lot of people talking about it, and I'll get a lot of people asking me what my carry weapon is. So I wanted to tell them, and I wanted to make sure to clarify that that wasn't me saying it's better than anything else out there, because frankly, it's just not, but I like it. So I appreciate you guys watching, and thank you guys for continuing on that hashtag AKG notification squad. I know I haven't called you guys out in a while, but I see you there, so I appreciate it. If you're not part of the hashtag AKG notification squad, go ahead and hit the bell icon down there. That way YouTube actually has to notify you about when the videos come out, and if you can comment within the first hour, occasionally with a comment that ends with, you know, hashtag AKG notification squad. Occasionally we do giveaways for, you know, patches, decals, shirts, and if you guys have suggestions for stuff you'd like to give away within reason, come on guys, just let me know. So anyway guys, I appreciate it. Thank you very much, and I will see you sexy motherfuckers in the next video. Later.